Welcome, friends, to my review of Duels of the Planeswalkers. To begin with, this was a fun and enjoyable introduction into the Duels series. It introduced the concept of Planeswalkers, and was a nice introduction for newcomers into the game. I can only cover so much of it because it is in fact the first entry into the series. The music was entertaining, but it got to be repetitive. It didn't bother me personally, but a regular player of the game might get annoyed by that. Keeping in mind, of course, that this is, again, the first entry into the series, it would have been nice to have a few more tracks. It was hard for me to get immersed into the game. I was aware that I was just playing Magic against a computer. The introductions in the campaign were good, but it could only do so much for me. The reason I tried reading all of the introductions to the campaign in a narrator-like voice was to try and help make it a little bit more epic. The UI was cumbersome sometimes. There were times I wanted to play a card in the main phase, but the game would move forward to the combat phase automatically without letting me manually move into the combat phase. The pause timer would move a little quickly for my tastes if I wanted to cast an instant anywhere. Sometimes this would affect how the game would end. It was hard keeping track of cards in the deck building screen as well. Cards were just randomly put in the decks and weren't grouped by name, like the four of. If I wanted to move a card from the sideboard into the deck, another card might be selected by mistake sometimes, and I had to make absolutely sure that the card that I selected was the card that I put in there. Enchants or equipment that were placed on creatures were hard to select sometimes. I had to select the very edge to see the card, and sometimes I would select something else. Mana was force tapped as well. I didn't really mind this so much in the campaign, but it annoyed me during the challenges. I would have a challenge figured out, but I would only come to learn that I wouldn't have enough mana for a finisher and I'd be short 1 mana or 2. I would recommend picking this game up, but like I mentioned at the beginning of my intro to this series, it's no longer available on Steam. My personal rating for it is a 5 out of 10, and I just wanted to say thank you, friends, for coming to see this, and stay tuned as we planeswalk to Duels of the Planeswalkers 2012.